Ladies and gentlemen, we have an exciting video for all of you guys out there, and we're going to touch on a lot of different things here in this video. Number one, we're going to talk about AMC's future. Now, obviously, the future of AMC involves a short squeeze. Most likely is the ultimate outcome of your expectations, right? Not to say that's true or false. I cannot give you guys financial advice. I cannot guarantee the unknown. But what I can do is provide evidence to why I think this short squeeze is going to happen. Now, we're ultimately, I guess if you want to use fighting shorts as the word, fighting corruption, whatever word you want to put, or just trying to make some money. Doesn't matter to me what you want to label it as. But there's this dynamic here that you have to think about, that is really the only thing that matters with a short squeeze. We're dealing with institutions with billions of dollars. The short thesis has to go away. The short thesis, meaning that AMC just has to fall from here, that needs to go away to get a massive short squeeze, relatively speaking. We could get the courts denying this conversion, and that could cause the squeeze, right? There's a lot of one-off catalysts that could do this, and that's definitely not out of the question here. But the biggest thing everyone needs to kind of think about is this. Why would shorts ever cover on their short positions if AMC is destined to go bankrupt or never to make a profit ever again? Eventually, you're going to win as a short. Doesn't matter if AMC stock in the short term goes, to $10, $15, $20 per share. Sure, some small shorts would have to cover on their short positions, but that wouldn't be quite to the Moass extreme, right? That wouldn't be AMC hitting 100 or hundreds of dollars. Now, here in this video, I want to talk about something that is pretty important. And number one, that is institutions loading up on AMC stock. There's a clear reason for this, as profitability is becoming closer and closer. And by the end of this year, we're going to be in profitable territory, maybe sooner rather than later. And that's ultimately the thing that matters the most. We've seen what has happened in 2023 with companies that even guide for a profit. A lot of your companies that were in the red going into the green or saying, hey guys, next quarter we're going to be profitable, it's a game changer, right? We just seen Palantir the other day. Look what that stock did. Stock you definitely wanted to own, right? So we're going to look at some of these filings, some of these retirement and pension funds that are loading up on AMC. And it's not just one firm, it's like multiple different firms. We're getting a lot of bullish 13F filings that are coming out. In this next upcoming week, you should get the Citadel 13F filings. You should get all of the filings that we have not yet gotten coming out in this next upcoming week. Now, we're going to talk about that. We're also going to give you guys a brief rundown of the earnings setup for this week, because you're going to have a couple earnings that will be very, very important for the markets, and I do want to highlight that for you because we didn't talk about that in any of the other videos, and some of them are pretty sizable. And finally, we're going to talk about Fed Jerome Powell this week, because you're going to have Fed Jerome Powell and Ben Bernanke, I don't know if I'm saying that right, which was the Federal Reserve chair in 2008. And they're going to meet this Friday. And it's going to get a little bit crazy, guys. So let's get into all of this information. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section if you have not done so already. So number one, first thing I want to get into is a brief rundown of some of these filings that are coming out and some of the commentary behind it, because it sounds pretty dang bullish. So, Florida retirement system increases position in AMC as company reports positive earnings. On May 14, 2023, the State Board of Administration of Florida Retirement System announced their increased position in AMC Entertainment. According to their latest 13F filing with the Securities and Exchange Commission, the fund purchased an additional 39,000 shares during the fourth quarter. Their investment now sits at 433,000 shares of AMC. It said, this latest move by the State Board of Administration of Florida Retirement System comes amid a financial report released by AMC Entertainment on Friday, May 5th. The firm reported earnings per share for the quarter at 13 cents negative, outperforming analyst estimates of negative 17 cents per share by 0.044 cents. AMC Entertainment also generated revenue during the same quarter that totaled to $954.4 million compared to expectations amounting to $931.6 million, a promising 21.5% increase from last year's figures. With these developments in mind, equity research analysts are optimistic about prospective profit performances from AMC Entertainment Holdings this year, given their rebound from losses posted last year, alongside expansionary steps towards increasing market share within U.S. and international market segments, a trend that would pike any investors' interest wanting exposure into cutting-edge strategic investments amid financial uncertainties. Now, if we go ahead and take a look at some of these other ones as well, it says AMC Entertainment has recently been the subject of significant increase from institutional investors, hedge funds, including California Public Employees Retirement System, New York State Common Retirement Fund, and Tobam have all increased their positions in the company's stock by purchasing additional shares in the third quarter. These moves are a strong indication of confidence in AMC's future prospects, and it goes into some other kind of filings here, and we'll read through this real quick. It says California Public Retirement System increased its position by 37.6% to now owning almost 1.1 million shares of AMC stock. It says that is particularly noteworthy as it demonstrates a considerable degree of confidence in AMC's future direction. Similarly, Tobam's decision to acquire an additional 267,000 shares during the same period shows that it sees potential profitability for AMC. It says right here as well, Interior Capital has also acquired a significant amount of shares recently with their purchase of 381,000 shares. Transaction valued at about $2.5 million on March 3rd, 2023, being particularly noteworthy. Now, that's the end of that one. And here's another one that says Toronto Dominion Bank increases stake in AMC Entertainment Holdings, highlights confidence in growth potential. Now, Toronto Dominion, guys, a lot of you guys won't know what this bank is. This is actually TD Ameritrade. This is TD Ameritrade's bank segment of their business. So that's a pretty positive sign as well. And there's a lot of other institutional filings that have also been coming out that are very bullish as well. And we've talked about them. Citi, geez, they increased their position in AMC like 800% for their call side, increased their share position by like 300%, and only increased their put position by a little over 100%. And their total call position is about 20 times larger than their put position. Clearly, that is, pretty good. Now, I will also tell you that the expectations for AMC for next quarter are also very low. This says it is forecasted that AMC Entertainment Holdings will post a 40-cent loss per share for the current quarter as projected by sell-side analysts. And AMC over the last, I believe, 5 or 6 quarters now has beaten expectations. So I think that's a pretty low expectation, right? So could be, some upside there. Now, the thing that I really want to highlight for all of you guys is this actually. It's AMC's market cap by year. So AMC currently is trading at about a $2.4 billion market cap. This was roughly the same market cap as you've seen in 2015 and 2016 when AMC was barely profitable. So right now, I mean, is the valuation really stretched? Yeah, valuation hinges on profitability, right? Or growth, in which year over year, quarter over quarter, AMC is growing a lot, right? 50% on a year over year basis. You definitely got the growth aspect of AMC back in line. Does profitability get to a good level? Do we get profitable? Do we get back to, maybe record profits? That might be a possibility. If you think about the variable pricing on AMC's seats, on AMC's branded popcorn, AMC starting their own candy line, so on and so forth. There's been a lot of new business segments that have come out of, COVID and this recovery stage, that profits might be stronger than ever, give it, a couple quarters from now, right? And the thing is, you really don't need to get those actual results if analysts and investors start to expect it, meaning that if, for an example, if next quarter's estimates for AMC were positive, right, profitability, or in that general direction, the stock would be reacting better today, right, instead of losing 40 cents a share. That doesn't sound good for the future. So I do ultimately think AMC's business as a whole will improve. And again, keep in mind what I said in the beginning of this video. That crushes the short thesis. That makes the whole difference in the world. Because, I mean, for an example, if you were going out and shorting some stock that looked destined for bankruptcy, that'll never make a profit again, does it really matter if the stock goes higher or lower, if ultimately your end, thesis is the company going bankrupt, right? You wouldn't cover on your short position even if that stock went against you for a while. So that's why it's so important. That would really be the last straw to break for the shorts, not to mention the data here, right? AMC's actual Ortex data, cost to borrow fees 2, 3, 100% or more. That is in and of itself a problem for shorts. Let's not take away from that. I'm just saying the short thesis is not as strong as maybe it once was. And I think maybe that's why you could get a squeeze sooner rather than later. Obviously, no guarantees there. I'm not a financial advisor. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and break down some of these earnings briefly with you guys. So we're going to get really retail kind of earnings. And these earnings are very particularly important for the markets because unlike technology, unlike other sectors of the markets that have really already reported, you're going to get retail names. So Home Depot Tuesday, that'll be important. Obviously, think about construction, think about kind of GDP, right? If Home Depot has bad numbers, it's not going to look good for the estimates for GDP. Let me just tell you that. Wednesday, you're going to get Target and TJX in pre-market. Huge. That's going to be huge. But really, the big dog is going to be Thursday pre-market when you get Walmart that reports earnings. So these really 4 companies here are really going to kind of solidify that, hey, maybe we avoid a recession. Or it might say like, yeah, the consumer is really slowing down. If Walmart doesn't have good numbers, that recession fear is probably going to come in hotter than ever. So that's why these earnings will be important. Now, on top of that, like I said in the intro of this video, you're going to get a lot of Fed speakers, even starting off Monday, right? Really every day, you're going to get a lot of Fed speakers. And I went over all of this in the video that came out on Sunday, so definitely check that out. But what I didn't realize is that this Fed Chair Powell speech, you're actually going to have Fed Bernanke there, at least from what I have heard. So that could be a little bit more, I guess, moving of the markets, because he was obviously the Fed chair when shit hit the fan last time around during the great financial crisis, guys. So Some things to look out for if you guys want a full rundown of the economic calendar, go ahead and check out the last video. But that's what I got for you guys in this video. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you got a better perspective on this situation. And hey, hedge funds, retirement funds, these guys are getting much more bullish on AMC. And these are not your risky kind of guys. So I think that is, all in all, a very positive thing, and I wanted to bring it to your guys' attention as soon as possible. So that is going to do it for this video. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.